Yeah, good comms,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, I mean, the Timeless Creator is going to be pretty strong here for Bozo Bunch. Fight or Flight as well could be pretty strong for all these characters. But you have the now, so you could just get big now drones. You could get fast now or big now. Those are your options, right? But yeah, I'm interested to see where this is going to end up. I assume, like you said, it's going to be Breads on the now goalie. That seems a lot more likely here. So we'll see. We're getting into it now, though. So we'll find out a lot. The healing is definitely going to help out with some of the damage, but of course, you have the edge KO potentials from the Juliet, from the Amy, coming out from Modern Magic. So this could be a bloodbath if they let it get there. But we'll find out in just a bit. And yeah, it looks like it will, in fact, be Breads on the now goalie.
I think in theory, ideal setups here probably is Amy goalie gets timeless, so both forwards can be happy with fight or flight, and probably same for the other team. We'll have now probably, unless Obscure Breads is really happy with the fight or flight, and they do actually end up taking fight or flight. Pensando is on the Amy. We do have Zach on the Kai as well there, so close to what I was going to predict here, but totally fair either way here. Ends up grabbing the momentum boots here for Obscure Breads. Of course, we have eject button. Starting off pretty hard there, already grabbing a first barrier a couple seconds in. Jay trying to make it happen in the midfield, grabbing some of that speed boost. And that's kind of going to be the name of the game here on Night Market, as it always is. The team that usually utilizes the speed boost better is kind of the one that profits more. But Carmine, with a really great dash punch angle there, is going to be just well enough to get that barrier. Pensando maybe low on cooldowns here. Zach's going to hold it for a little bit longer. And they end up getting a kill. Power play here for Bozo.
Yeah, now an opportunity to bring down those barriers here. Dropletto's in that bottom corner, but couldn't quite get a good angle there. Has the flip available. Carmine is back online. A nice little dash redirect off a respawn to hold it down on the defense here. But Jay holding it down on that midfield line as well. Finally, Carmine and Zach Smack looks like they're able to convert, get into a scoring position. The flurries come out with the flip from Breads. We'll throw it all away and get it back to Dropletto here. Flip point blank will bring down the second barrier. Now it's both sides open right as we go into overtime. Dropletto looking for the shot's going to be able to find it off the strike war. And will be Bozo Bunch who take the first point.
Nice combination there from Bozo Bunch. Really did a great work of using that red ball for a nice dribble there. Jay, again, say on their main is just going to be doing a lot of interesting stuff here, though. At this point, I've kind of become a Juno believer as of recent, so we'll see if that does come to fruition here. I kind of think she's just good in tournament play. I don't know, just having like the extra strikes when you're like really good at like redirecting and positioning for them. It's like so powerful, and I've actually become a now non-believer as of recently. Now goalie is some of my least favorite stuff these days. I think the secondary becoming a light hit has really affected her ability to play goalie as much as it should.
Yeah, it definitely is a pretty sizable nerf, but a power play now. Daxmack has a flip available. It's just going to go up on the line. What a save from Breads! Basically pulled that out of the goal there to keep it held down. And now an opportunity for the team to come back. Dropletto will pick up one barrier here. They're looking for more. Got some creations to help back him up. Jay coming up, so he can drop the slimes here. And that's the second one gone. The Astral coming out. Doesn't quite catch the core, though. Slime's getting in the way here in the midfield. Bread's going to send it back in. Jay wins the strike war. Back to Zach. Zach is trying to get out of this corner. Dropletto can't quite reach the core. Pensando makes the clear here. Gets it back to Carmine now. Jay is going to win out in the midfield yet again. Zach Smack, though, is going to beat the slime, but not a second time. Pensando, though, in the perfect spot to save that one. Blinks up with the firewall sentry. Carmine looking for a dash punch into dribble. Breads clears it through the sentry and keeps it safe. I mean, what an angle on that.
That was really tight, really scary, but they end up, definitely winning out in that situation here. Bread still has control of the ball. Jay trying to get it as fast as they can over to Dropletto. Dropletto does find a kill, though, which is just as good in this next power play situation. Carmine, not a demon angle, though. That probably would have scored. Jay does have this flip to grab the ball and give it to Dropletto if they decide to. This is a rough flip situation here, actually, here for Carmine. Not too many great angles showing up when you flip from that that direction, but Carmine can't seem to land this one. Looking a little bit weak right now. Can they grab a kill on at least disabling them for the rest of this point? They do end up getting a kill. Dropletto nicely placing their secondary there as well. And we can see if Pensando can hold this one or if Dropletto can get this ball in here with Jay. It's going to be a really interesting flip, a wait, and then the primary to maybe get a little bit of misdirection, but it doesn't seem to work out. But they end up getting a power play onto the goalie. Finally, finally lands the goal here with some amazing teamwork. Bozo Bunch, they finally land that one.
Kind of crazy. Jay did everything except strike off of that flip, but did end up getting the goal in the end. Regardless, that was a really long point here for point 2. I don't know, kind of sets the tone a little bit of these teams might be pretty evenly matched, at least in this first set, in terms of how this has been going. Both the goalies have been making very efficient clears and not allowing either forward to get too much pressure up in their face. I mean, they're both kind of they're both like midfielder goalies, right, against traditional brawling characters. So they've done a very good job of just not letting the brawlers get into that corner pressure too much, where they're going to be able to win out pretty easily. And I think, you know, it's kind of a big component of what's causing these points to just go on so long.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just kind of a situation that sort of happens when you have like ranged goalies for the most part. Like Amy is for sure a ranged goalie and does a great job of it. Now being kind of like this weird hybrid where she doesn't really have like a bunch of things to do at long range, but also isn't very good in like the melee situation as well. Like she is not winning basically any situation now with the change against Juliet. So you really just have to try to play at a more long range with now, I think. And with neither of them having cooldowns in a long point, I could see how maybe it's just going to last a little longer because they can help their forwards a little less.
And now both sides opened up once again here. Jay blowing the kit, trying to get the KO on the edge, but doesn't quite find it. Will pass it to Dropletto. Here is going to make a little breakaway to the bottom side. It'll be Bozo Bunch taking set 1, 3-0 there. Seems a lot closer than the score would indicate, but Obscure Breads will be coming out the MVP right now. We're going to have some options to pick from. We got Sparks on the board. We got some speed. We got Hot Shot. This could be an important draft.
Yeah, a lot of different routes you can go here with now. Decides to go the Chrono Boost route, so might be opting to plant the secondary on the teammates a little bit more to help them, you know, get a little bit more speed and a lot more control there, which is fair. Gonna get a Hot Shot here for Pensando, which is totally fair too. The cooldown and the core speed is really good on Amy there. Probably looking for an early deny here from Jay, but probably can still use the Knife's Edge nicely. Zack Smack, of course, getting aerials, which is great on Kai. Carmine going to try to scale here with these Sparks. And Dropletto just getting peak performance, which is really solid on any brawler as well. Getting your health, getting your speed, it's all good here. They do lose a barrier in the process, though. Modern Magic kind of got an open goal here. Scurbred's going to fight for their life to try to get it away from Juliet. Jay in position to give a hand as well, though. The Fiery Flurry is going to make things really tough right now, though. Dropletto also trying to help it out. It's a 3-man goalie, and they do end up getting it out. The Giga Blast is going to cause a couple of problems here, though, but not enough, as Dropletto still has control of this ball. Jay with the strike, and the blob almost makes it on through. Keeping the ball in Dropletto's hands, but it's going to be a double hit from that secondary. He's going to land it through. Really good pressure there from Dropletto, not holding up.
Yeah, another 4th point now for Bozo Bunch. Will go unanswered. They look to be a bit in control of this game. Now, I want to point out as well with the, they got the Knife's Edge here on Jay, so that's just even more mobility in the midfield. But getting a little bit too close to the edge there, it would look like. She's going to get taken out right there. It's a power play to the side of Modern Magic, and they're looking to bring down both the barriers. Going to get Dropletto's flip as well. First from Carmine are blocked for the Firewall Sentry coming out in the corner. KO on Breads. Zack Smack sinks it in with a second flip. The first point for Modern Magic will come in set 2.
Yeah, good on Modern Magic to take just insane advantage of that position. Like that was advantage times 10 right there, and they did a good job of keeping it forward, which is what they should be doing here. Those move on to this next point here. Carmine with a lot of pressure on the front side. Pensando does get a jump in there. Really great strike there to hit that corner of that barrier, keeping 2 of their own. As we have Zaxmack and Carmine both keeping the pressure on Jay, trying to plant a blob, maybe in that corner just in case, but the ball actually got there too quickly, and the primary kind of helped score. Interesting situation, though. We're going to have Modern Magic take that point as well, and if they can keep that pressure up, they'll be able to even out this set.
It would be big here for them to be able to tie this one up. Now let this be another sweep now. Firewall Sentry going to come out in the bottom side. They got one barrier pretty quickly. They need to bring down a second one now. It's a pressure, though. Reconverting here. Drop Leto and Jay are pushed up. Some nice clears once again from Pensando. We'll be able to get it back over to Carmine, who'll be able to pick up a second one now. It's an open goal on the side of Bozo Bunch. A chance to possibly score. Breads does have the flip. Things could go awry. So far, to be pretty calm here. Dropletto with the dash and the barrier beam, but Pensando burns the flip to save the barrier. And now Bread's turn to defend. Firewall Sentry coming out yet again here in the midfield. And Carmine with the dash punch KO. Core flip here from Bread's going to send it out to buy some time for Jay to come back alive. But core flips are getting earned here. Carmine has one available. And Pensando sending it in. Cyber swipes up. Core flip gets burnt, but Bread's with the block. Will keep it held down. Going to get back to Jay in the midfield yet again. This is going to be an overtime game. Dropletto bringing down the second barrier now. And the team setting in is Dropletto with a strike to the bottom side. Beats out Pensando and ties it up on set points.
Yeah, big tie there. Something I am also noticing about a lot of these clears here from Obscure Breads, and possibly just because they know that Pensando doesn't have a dash perk, is that a lot of these would be basically insta losses here if Pensando did indeed have a dash perk. That is the one thing I'm noticing, that if this Aimi can get one of these dash perks, it's going to be a huge change in this game. Obscure Breads is going to have to clear the ball completely differently. They're kind of clearing it away from everybody freely, and it's getting sort of intercepted, but not as much as it would be if we had a dash perk there. So I think that's something that they could be keeping in mind here, though, if they can recognize such a situation.
And Pensando blinking up to be able to bring down that first barrier here. Tight contest for sure. Carmine almost getting a KO 2 times there, but just coming up a little bit short. So watch out for that Juliet for sure. Bozo Bunch now looking to reconvert. Jay gonna drop the slime. The flip's coming out, but the slimes are in the way, and that's the second barrier gonna fall to the side of Modern Magic. Another dash punch from Carmine. Not gonna quite connect. Zaxmack is now the one who is staggered. Dropletto is going to pick up the KO. Instead, it's Bozo Bunch who have the power play, and they're looking to make a score. Dropletto in the perfect position, catches out Pensando, and that's going to be another set for the Bozo Bunch.
That was a good, clean one there from Bozo Bunch, making sure that they keep this lead here. As we can see, we actually don't really have any dash perks, though. Stuff for Juno. I mean, Juno would also really love a dash perk as well. Going to take Rapid Fire, definitely the second best thing. We're going to maybe see a Catalyst or an Adrenaline Rush here from Carmine. Probably Adrenaline Rush, if I could say it. Oh, actually going to be a Spark. Oh, right, of course, we have Spark of Strength as well. Demolitionist, new again in here for the for this update, showing on to Zaxmack. Catalyst on to Dropletto here. Of course, the Monumentalist showing up here for Obscure Breads. It being a light hit maybe makes it so that people don't want to deny it as often, but it is still just a problem in general. And Pensando taking Unstoppable to deal with maybe this Asher a little bit more, which is, again, a totally unfair pick, too. So we'll see if some of these perks come into play here. Carmine trying as best as they can do. They scale with these Sparks, and they might be able to if this game goes. I mean, well, this might be the last Spark they ever see. They're going to have to start winning some sets if they want some of them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Demolitionist just now getting rotated back in his last patch. I mean, it's no longer bugged like it was, but it's still pretty good, and you just have more size, of course, to work with as well. I think a conversation about midfielder recently has been how good is size on characters like Kai. And the answer is generally just enough to win some Strike Wars, but Jay doesn't really seem to care here. The Rapid Fire, Fight or Flight, it's just such a deadly combo, especially on this Juno right now. And well, that's just going to be another point here for Bozo Bunch as they just continue to work along their way. I mean, they came out pretty big on that draft yet again, and they're just having a really dominant performance this game one, it looks like.
Yeah, no dash perks for that draft there. Either if there was, Jay probably was going to snipe it either way. Dropletto trying to send path splitter there just to see if they can hold the ball. But they do not seem to make that one work. Pensando does end up clearing it though. Carmine fighting on the front lines here, up to Obscure Breads, who might end up spending this flip here. Actually have Drop Leto spend their flip to try to clear it out here. Could consider doing a little bit of damage to Carmine. I think that's what Jay was actually thinking just at that last moment here. Once again, I'm going to get the Monumentalist Sentry Drone coming on out here. But a lot of control right now from Modern Magic, though. They spend that flip, get that barrier here. Carmine looking a little bit weak, though. And if maybe their last breath scores this one, they're kind of out of the fight for just a moment here, which is a nice little reprieve from Obscure Breads. Only Zack Smack on the front lines for just a moment. Overtime finally rolls on over here. Bozo Bunch has got their open barrier. They're going to have to make something happen. Oh, not that.
Yeah, it's kind of flying past Obscure Breads right there. The Cyber Swipes hit it just hard enough. I don't think anyone expected it to just take a straight line to the center like that. But yeah, that will be Modern Magic tying it up now. Still in a bit of a precarious situation. 2 more points and Bozo Bunch will end the game. Let's just see what they can do. They're in full reverse sweep mode, trying to make something out of nothing right now, looking for a little bit of that Modern Magic. Jay on the defense will hold down both barriers, both sides. Still going to have both of them available with the Firewall Sentry coming out here in the midfield. Not going to get much, but Jay actually going to get one on the return. And now Dropletto with the flip available. Purebred's looking to make something happen. Has the big expanse. Will bring down the second barrier and a quick goal scored off that bottom bumper. Dropletto dashing in to stuff the core, and it's match point for Bozo Bunch.
I feel like Jay kind of just mixed the whole team right there. I'm not going to lie. That's some really good gameplay there with those blobs. Dropletto hitting the pass button. Probably just a fat finger, but who knows here. Carmine easily dash punching that second one as well, though. They have a lot of control. Once again, Pensando, the one with flip, could maybe move up and make this one happen. Going to use it defensively here. Dropletto does win the situation, though. Spends a flip of their own. Jay also spending a flip. Carmine looking a little bit weak, getting hit by some of those as well. Obscure Breads just get kind of mixed there for a second, and that's just long enough for Carmine to land this one with Zack Smack on their back. Okay, I mean, Modern Magic certainly has their chance here to even this one up, and that would be big for them. Pensando would have a chance to get a dash perk. Carmine could get another spark here, and that could be the scaling that they're looking for to actually take this one. Oh boy.
Quick start there from Modern Magic. They're going to get both barriers pretty early on. Could give them a little bit of an opportunity now. All it takes is one more to reset the score and go to set 4. Or set 4. But Carmine with a little bit of a whiff dash punch. Breads will be able to make it clear now. Zack Smack the barrage pushing up, but all 3 members of Bozo Bunch will hold it down through everything there. Carmine can't land the punch though. Back pass to Zack Smack, goes for the bottom, but Jay's right there and moving fast. Carmine once again gonna get blocked out, goes for it, but gets knocked off the map, I think, by the now drone, the secondary there. And it will get reconverted. The power play for Bozo Bunch. Both barriers falling very quickly, and Dropletto putting some big pressure on Pensando in the corner. So far they're holding, but Jay with the core now. Getting it flipped away though is Carmine. Back over to Zack Smack in the top side. They're looking for a Giga Blast or something. Core flip from Breads will clear it out. Get it back to Dropletto. Pensando makes the save over.
Oh my god.
Back around into Dropletto. A night market bounce. Dropletto with the perfect redirect to sink it to the bottom. Bozo Bunch take game 1.
Really incredible defense from the Bozo Bunch as well. I mean, they lost both of their barriers in like the first 10 seconds there and actually just fought their way back with like 3-man. Like they knew when it was time to make a 3-man goalie there, and that was just a good call. I mean, MVP Jay honestly getting a whole lot of good redirects in there, a lot of great plays. Definitely what happens when you have like a Juno main showing up here. And some of these perks are just going to be beneficial there. So Jay made great work of their character choice, as well as Dropletto and Obscure Breads there. That was really great. Carmine definitely put up a lot of pressure as well. I don't know. It was just kind of... It was indeed, again, closer than it felt, right? Like, that was pretty much a 3-0. And each point did feel meaningful, though. I felt like at any... It was like 2-3 every time. Anytime they could have brought it back.
Yeah, there were definitely some opportunities there, but I mean, Bozo Bunch held it down on the defense. Breads and Jay did a very good job covering all angles and holding off that corner pressure, really shutting down Carmine for a lot of those plays, not allowing. I mean, we saw last game, Greasy had a field day on the Juliet, and this time Bozo Bunch did not allow Carmine to do the same. So a good game one for sure for Bozo Bunch. And moving over to game two, AtLab was their map pick, so they got to be feeling pretty comfortable in this series so far.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, also AtLab, 1 million hours for every single player. I mean, that's my favorite map for sure. So I'm sure it's at least some of theirs. And I'm not really sure what adjustments really need to be made, though. I kept talking about how now has nothing really to deal with Juliet, and yet Obscure Breads did a good, damn good enough job to keep the ball away from Carmine and not get locked into any of those checkmate situations, though. Maybe it was just the speed that now gives. Did pick up Chrono Boost a little bit early in that game. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what kind of characters get chosen here. Maybe we'll see that Juno will be banned this time. Of course, it depends on what perks show up. I mean, I wouldn't really necessarily say that like Fight or Flight and Timeless are Juno's big perks, but definitely trying to consider banning for Jay next time, and they banned for Dropletto instead. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be hard to just like ban out any one person on that team because Dropletto has pretty good cast. I mean, Jay's got a pretty good cast. Jay's got an Imi as well. That, I mean, how are you gonna shut that down if you ban the Juno? So I don't know. I think the Rasmus was probably a decent ban there. I think it is just gonna have to be awakening based rather than character based. Really, and of course, Breads has a pretty wide array of characters as well. I mean, we just saw the now goalie, but he's also got he's got the Finny, he's got whatever else, like all kinds of other stuff that he pulls out of his hat sometimes. He's got the Rasmus as well. But yeah, they can play. It's a team that can kind of play a wide variety of like comps, and they like to do the corner offense. They can go for KOs. So it's definitely a challenge, I think, for Modern Magic to find a real like comp wise answer. I think they just have to. I want to say like win their individual or interactions, but there's so much like teamwork going on from Bozo Bunch that last game. Jay was doing a good job rotating around the map, making everything kind of a 2v2 at least or a 2v1. That becomes it really becomes kind of difficult. I think we said the name of the game was going to be the midfield, and well, I feel like it kind of was that go around. Zach Smack did not feel as impactful that game as we often see him being.
Yeah, definitely. A midfield is certainly one of the most impactful roles in this game. I've had a lot of conversations with people on like what's the hardest role to play or whatever, and I mean, look, I'm a midfield. I really think that midfield is the hardest role. I think it's the most active role, which means you have more decisions to make, which means it's harder because you have to make the right decision in so many different situations. So this is kind of why, like, I don't know, it just feels like midfield. Of course, it's also the most. I feel it has to be the most impactful role. I mean, you're the one that helps the goalie get the ball out of there and clear it, and you're the one that literally helps your forward score it and keep the ball in. I don't. It's so the midfielders are just so important. I feel like midfielders are the hardest role. But I get I get attacked for that all the time because everyone says brawler is the hardest role, and maybe it is. Like,
That's
I'm not.
brawler players say that
They
because the only people who say that are brawler players. I'll
they
say it.
all say
Brawler
I don't know. Maybe
brawler is
I'm
the
always talking to
easiest
them.
role. Brawler is the easiest role, and I will hear no different. But no,
You hear
I
that,
agree.
chat?
Midfield is the most difficult role. It's also kind of the most nuanced role. Because brawler and goalie, there's a lot of like textbook stuff you can like look at and be like, yeah, this is how you do this, clear and win this interaction, yada yada yada. Midfield, there's so much like midfield coaching that like I've heard from like other people and stuff where so much of it is just like feel and nuance, right? Like there is
Yeah.
not a textbook of like how to be a good midfield. Like there is to an extent, but like um a lot of it is just like seeing half a second into the future and kind of knowing like what decisions to make. So yeah, I agree with you there. But it looks like we're getting into the draft for game two. Explosive entrance, newly buffed a little bit as well, and spark of focus start for At Lab. So gonna be interesting. Gonna have some neat options on the table. Dash characters, of course, gonna be big. This one, Zentaro, obviously could be a prime pickup, but that Spark of Focus means that there's always a win condition for someone who wants to opt into that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think on this map we have X stocks up, Zentaro stocks, of course, quite up. We might just see Modern Magic ban X again, and hopefully they don't fold to the Juno, who would be pretty happy to take a dash perk here, probably to start out. I mean, the dash perk start really changes a lot. I mean, Amy goalie gets kind of crazy. Like, this will probably be a pretty high octane match. There's certain characters that even like Juliet. Again, we could see Juliet here would also be completely fine taking either of these perks. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, Juliet dash perk's terrible." As a goalie, if Juliet takes the dash perk, I'm crying. I actually hate it. I'm under attack. I'm under attack. They're getting me. So I think there's still a lot of picks here that are good. Of course, even Kazan. Not even mentioning Kazan. Like good with everything here as well. But I mean, I feel like these bans are going to be such a big situation. Are they just going to seriously ban the same characters? They do end up banning Dropletto once again, which I think is slightly more fair on this start on this map, and they're going to ban out Carmine again. So same bans here, and hopefully we'll have not the insanity thing where same situation, literally same situation, but expecting a different result. I don't know, Jays. Actually, or not Jay. Actually, no, they took it. Pensando, right? Pensando is
Yeah.
actually probably gonna grab this one, which is another Juno main.
Does mean the Imi's on the table for Jay though. With explosive entrance, that could be a pretty solid midfield pickup there. And in fact, that's what it will be. Asher once again for Dropletto. That's gonna be another solid forward core there to have to contend with. So let's see what midfield and brawler pickups are gonna come out for Modern Magic. We know Carmine and Zack Smack both have a Kai. Like Carmine has a weird like brawler Kai that's actually kind of weirdly good. I don't know if we'll see that here, but it's gonna be the now looks like for Zack Smack. We're just waiting on this brawler pick. We still have the Zentaro on the table. We still have the Juliet on the table. But with X and Rasmus gone, and Asher, it does kind of limit the pool just a bit.
Kazan too.
Yeah,
Kazan,
Kazan's on the table.
Zentaro, Juliet. Like he very proficient in all of these brawlers. I think he'd be acceptable on all three of them.
It will be Kazan. Okay, that's the Carmine pick right there, and you have the Dash Awakening as well. So a lot of mobility up front, and you have of course the Juno goalie to be able to help out with that offense, and it will be Finney for Breads. Okay, interesting.
Right.
Both teams focusing on the forward pressure here and getting some of that damage in. Whereas the now is going to help mitigate some of that a little bit for Modern Magic. So we'll see here. This could be an interesting one.
I know Obscure Breads do be hitting the Finny, but I actually think the Finny pick is it's a little out of place here. It doesn't. I don't love Finny with either of these perks particularly. And I mean, Amy goalie stocks up here for sure with the dash perk. I mean, I think this is slightly odd pick, more comfort, which is fine. I mean, you can have spark on anyone, which is good, but it just feels like the slightest out of place here. Chat, you can yell at me if you want, but I don't know. It seems just out of place, slightly out of place. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Breads is really good on the Finny. And I guess when you have the Amy as well, it's just like you're going to double down on being able to kind of deal some damage here. And Finny, I think, is pretty good on this map as well. There's some maps where she's like not very good, but I think this is one of her better ones for sure. This and Demon. So we'll see how this goes. Looks like it's Sparks for Bread, Dropletto, Carmine, and Zack Smack. Pensando and Jay, the only ones going for the Dash Awakenings. So Dash Awakening Juno with the eject button is definitely scary. You can get jump scared pretty easily here. So I mean, name of the game for Bozo Bunch is obviously don't let Breads have to defend super hard. I mean, I just cursed that so hard. Breads literally whiffed the strike. But yeah, like don't let Carmine and Zack Smack get up in Bread's face pretty much. Like just keep the core on Modern Magic's side of the field as much as possible. and they'll be able to keep up the pressure, because as soon as it converts back over, that leaves a whole lot of room for Pensando to just jump up and make that like a 3v2.
Yeah, I gotta say, even though we had Bozo Bunch taking that first game, I really do like the comp here from Modern Magic. I mean, I'm certainly a believer here in the eject button dash perk start over what we have on the other side, which is still solid strike shot Finny. I mean, I'm not going to deny any of that, but I think that the pressure Pensando might be able to help put on is going to be huge, but Dropletto kind of just destroying now in that midfield there is going to result in this power play, but does it matter when you have the power of Carmine's Kazan and Pensando at your back, dude? It might not matter. This is a good comp.
Yeah, nice little shot there from Carmine. And Carmine's Kazan is kind of scary, and with the cooldown spark as well, it's just even more ability. You're kind of able to just dump out whenever, and with only two, with everyone opting into sparks as well. Like, this is like that first draft, like someone's getting double spark, pretty much. And if it's gonna be Carmine, if they win this set and it's Carmine, that could be pretty scary. But it's 3 flips up now for Bozo Bunch, and they're on some offense of their own here. So we'll see if they're able to make anything out of this.
Yep, 2 flips now as Jay decides to try to get it in there, but does end up missing. We do have Jay also looking a little bit weak right now. Carmine going to still kind of control this ball. They're working on flips of their own, about to have it, but Dropletto spends their own to make this power play happen. Not ready for that pass there, unfortunately. Gonna get a clear here from Pensando and Carmine right now. Looking solid on this one, keeping their barrier. Pensando spending that secondary to just keep as much ball as they can, really. Oh, kind of blasts Carmine out of the way. They're knocking them to actually less than half. Gonna have to play a little bit of defense here. Zaxmac is back and trying to make this one happen, though. Pensando, not enough moves, not enough strikes to be able to stop that one, though. Wow, perfect heal from Zaxmac is going to keep Carmine on the board, though. Oh, crazy back pass, but they're just in time, and it's kind of clutch right now in this overtime.
Yeah, an open goal. Pensando eject buttons back at the perfect time to save that. Still a barrier up for Bozo Bunch. Gonna get it over to Jay. The glitch pop at point blank was enough to red core it right through. And it will be Bozo Bunch tying it up 1-1.
That was kind of a jump scare. Jay got like the fastest glitch pop in humanity, and that was kind of good. Really good angle as well. So they're going to be rewarded with that point there. A big path splitter is just going to make it nearly impossible to clear this damn ball. Zaxmac also gets kind of destroyed in that schmicks there. No ult, it looks like. Actually, most of Modern Magic is a bit weak right now here. Dropletto also has flips. Zaxmac is cracked. Pensando about to be shattered. Dropletto does end up missing. Carmine has the ability to hold the ball. Okay, Dropletto doesn't decide to flip for the ball, but says flip for the kill. It's a double power play here for Bozo Bunch. They're looking so strong right now. Can Carmine hold the ball by himself here? Zaxmac does get back just in time. Jay has flip, tries to go for a little bit of a redirect for themselves there, but does not seem to work out. And all 3 members of Modern Magic have returned. They have a little bit of pressure here. Obscure Badge is going to keep holding.
4 flip here from Jay. Pensando will be able to catch that one. It's pretty far away. Trying to get something to happen, but Jay gonna blink up, drops the sentry. Pensando finds the gap. Back to Carmine now. They're looking to bring down this second barrier, but Bread's holding on quite well. They just can't get the pressure going. And now Dropletto dashing up. Doesn't quite catch the core. Well, we just continue to go back and forth here. Bread's going to give him another opportunity here. And Dropletto going to win it out. Go to the bottom side this time. Pensando just a little bit too high up. That'll be Bozo Bunch taking another point now. Set point for Bozo Bunch.
Yeah, that was interesting. We did see Pensando kind of walk really high there. Maybe was just reading a dribble there from Dropletto and was thinking, okay, this is the only way that I get this ball, so might as well try to play to my outs, which I would say that is a fair judgment call to make. Path splitter comes in, does not seem to land exactly where we need it, though. Firewall sentry holding the ball in place. Carmine getting to the top side, almost getting blasted there from Jay. Nice lifeline coming in. Pensando, while everyone's kind of not looking, jumps on in there, gets the secondary. Zaxmac helps to get that third barrier as well. Carmine looking a little bit weak here, though. Jay also a little bit weak. Obscure Breads, careful, buddy. You want to keep the ball away from the goal, but into the hands of Zaxmac. This flip is going to land it, but actually Obscure Breads, like, frame perfect. 1 frame before the goal, spends their flip, and that's a catastrophe for them. It's going to be a 2-2. Modern Magic might be able to bring this one to a Game 3 series if they keep it up.
An opportunity to bring it back here is I mean, that last set looked close point for point, or the last game set one looked close point for point, and this one is looking the same, but Modern Magic actually able to confirm some here. Buffalo does have a flip available, but the goal for Bozo Bunch is open, and Carmine has the core dribbling up the field. Zaxback teleporting in's gonna find the goal, and that will be Modern Magic picking up their first set of the series now, and taking a lead in game 2. Pensando gonna be the MVP.
That was a really good redirect and lifeline there from Zach Smack, getting on in there. Wait, Zachary Smackery? Who said this in chat? I always say that. Yo, Weston, that's my dog. Anyway, really great redirect, really great lifeline, and we're going to have Pensando take another dash perk, whether it is to just jump across the border or if it's just to deny. It's still going to be valuable on Pensando here. You get a second spark for Finny, possibly the best case situation there. Fight or flight for the midfield, but y'all also huge. Carmine getting kind of blasted here. He's going to grab the catalyst, which is going to prove wonders, I'm sure. Rapid fire for Dropletto is solid. It's a solid thing there. And big fish for Zach Smack, also acceptable as far as like perks that you want on these specific characters. So we'll see if any of these make a big difference here. You're going to see Pensando jumping into orbit. As I say that, the Carmine is going to be the one in orbit right now, and you can see him from your telescopes.
And power play here for Bozo Bunch. They look to bring down their second barrier now. Carmine respawning at a timely moment to help on the defense here. But Jay looking to bring it down to the bottom side. Dropletto in position, but the slime from Pensando will catch it before Dropletto even has an opportunity. And now Carmine looking for a barrier here, but Jay gets back in time and will make it a 2v1 on the defense. Now Cyber swiping up is going to pick up the barrier in an open goal on the side of Modern Magic. Jay with the Firewall Sentry in the top side now. Dropletto covering the bottom angle. They have three flips available, and they could just look to score here. They got to get it off their side of the field right now. Pass to Dropletto, but Carmine with the crooked leverage forces Breads to use the flip. Sends it down, but Sado missed the jump, and it'll just bounce right in. Bozo Bunch strike first in set 2.
Yeah, tough there for Pensando. I mean, I guess they used a flip to do it, but certainly you wish they had used a couple of more here, as we do still have 2 on deck on their best characters. It's going to be tough here for Modern Magic to keep this one alive, though. They have a lot of reinforcement there, especially with Pensando jumping in there. Carmine also has their flip to keep the ball. Pensando in good position to make sure that they don't have to use any extra cooldowns as they gain a flip of their own. Good weight on the glitch pop, but Jay is kind of all over the board right now. Wins a strike war against Zach Smack, causes Pensando to have to use their flip, brings the ball to the top side. Can't do much more than just hold this barrier while the opponents have a power play going on right now. And kind of best case scenario for Modern Magic, at least they're still in this one. They could have easily lost that one during that power play, but now they have a lot of pressure on the bottom side here. Zach Smack really 2 strikes away from getting their flip, as long as they can land them here. Yep, 2 strikes it is. Carmine on the bottom side needs a little bit of help here. Maybe Pensando can get in with the secondary, but it's actually going to be Dropletto. Just going to get another power play for Bozo Bunch, and now Modern Magic they're going to be on the bottom side here for sure.
Another point here for Jay, as Bozo Bunch continue to look good now, up 2-0 and looking to take a set of their own. We revisit this draft just a little bit as well. I mean, Bread's got the double spark, and Jay with the fighter flight. There's so much speed in that back line that they're having a lot of an easier time like converting from defense to offense, it seems, than Modern Magic is. Zach Smack notably is sometimes takes a little bit longer to get back up the field, and there's a lot of interrupts that Bozo Bunch have to be able to get it through. But Jay with a big play right there picks up the KO and the goal with a cyber swipe. Will be taking a whole set now for Bozo Bunch. 3-0 that one. Jay, the MVP. And another spark showing up on the board here. 1-2 punch, Manu, extra special. A lot of cool options here. It'll probably be the Happy Star. Actually going to go for the Deadeye. Interesting pickup there for Jay. It's going to be even more damage. That cyber swipe. It's going to be scary, but a triple spark for Breads as the 1-2 punch was picked up by Pensando. Monumentalist on the now. Dropletto going for the unstoppable here, and prize fighter pickup from Carmine. That's not a lot left. That's a really good draft for Bozo Bunch, I think.
It's definitely solid. They could kind of find another win condition here and doing a lot of damage, getting some kills here. The power showing up for Obscure Breads, and the Deadeye as well for Jay is just going to be Possibly doing a lot of crossfire damage here, though, as Pensando is going to jump on in there nicely here with that Blabo bounce. Just going to go have a lot of extra range, and the twin drive is going to keep it so they have more often than not. Okay, Carmine waiting nicely there, grabbing that barrier away from Obscure Breads, but ends up losing their life to drop Leto's secondary there. It's going to be a tough spot here as they try to survive this power play. The Monumentalist Sentry Drone is going to at least allow more than one player to get some of that speed more often as well. Pensando jumps in to try to make it happen, but not much more than that. Crooked Leverage is also going to whiff here, though. Dropletto kind of has the ball the whole time. Jay does kind of counteract that friend fling and makes it so that they win that situation. End up losing the barrier, though, for it. Finally gets the ball cleared to Carmine, but Jay has enough cooldowns to keep this midfield just in turmoil for the side of Modern Magic.
Kind of popping the black hole here. Carmine is so hurt, having to spend some energy just to stay alive. Jay with the blink up goes for the flip. Pensando in the 50-50, and Jay will come out on top. Another point here for Bozo Bunch. Yeah, I mean, Breads, the triple spark Finny, I think this dagger one is still available. I don't think it passed. So, like, I mean, triple spark Finny, like, you're just running, like, it's not even about the power. Like, yeah, the power is obviously really good, but, like, you're running so fast on a character who's already has really high base move speed and more cooldowns on a character who already has good cooldowns. It's starting to get out of hand, I think.
Yeah, it might already be out of hand as that
look at how fast he's using the cards. Did you see that? That was like a 3-second interval.
Really just spamming the cards, and that's what I was saying before. Their secondary win condition could show up as a ton of damage. But they're going to have to hold on to this barrier, though. But Kazan going to make things really difficult, but Dropletto is going to make things really simple. He's going to take that kill. We're going to have a flip here, and it's going to be nearly unclearable. It's going to be absolutely unclearable as they do a great job of waiting just to cover space. Wow, nice one, Pensando, getting that strike there, making sure that keeps that one alive. Carmine's finally back here. Let's see if they can get some control of this ball. It's kind of been the J show as of recently. Have a lot of cooldowns. Okay, a flip from Dropletto is going to kind of whiff here. The big finish isn't going to do too much other than put the ball into Carmine's hands. They're going to get a top spin, but it's not going to work out for them. Wins the situation against Jay, but okay, we do have Obscure Breads there to defend. We see that in overtime, we have a red ball here from Finny. Do you see that one? That was kind of big.
Yeah.
Why was it red, though? That's only 159 power. Am I crazy?
I don't know. Smacking it, I guess. But it doesn't matter. Carmine's going to sink it in. I get it past Breads, so I mean, Modern Magic, they'll tie it up 1-1. I mean, this game is, like, you know, we're talking all of this stuff about Bozo Bunch, but, like, this game has still been neck and neck, and these points have been going on for a very long time.
Wait.
11 seconds, right? But, yeah, a little bit cursed there, but, yeah, I mean, this game's just been neck and neck this entire time, and Bozo Bunch now have the opportunity to take a decisive lead here, and if that last spark does show up, that could be kind of the final big advantage that they really get here for Breads. We'll have to see how they play it. As I mean, some nice defense from Pensando, who is really showing up in these later points right now.
Yeah, I really like the decisions Pensando is making here, though. But Zach Smack a little too weak right now to make the difference happen. Jay does get the kill, doesn't get the goal, but it is enough with that strike to get it through. Pensando can't make it in time, and again, Jay is kind of carrying right now in the softest way I could say it, making themselves the MVP once again. There is the spark of resilience going to try and make it so that we do not have the President of the United States showing up in our game. Question mark. Probably won't get over down there to Finny, though, but we're going to see that Pensando is going to grab on to this. Prime time, we do have the Now is the one that's going to deny that one away here. Perfect form showing up for Dropletto, which is just super solid. Obscure Breads does end up getting Egoist. I guess they have a lot of cooldowns, which gives them more energy, which is, you know, that kind of works in that situation, though. Jay deciding to get Knife's Edge there could prove quite useful. Carmine picking stacks on stacks, which is sort of a win condition in itself. Really good when it gets going here. We'll see if Carmine can stay alive, but Dropletto has found a lot of kills on Carmine these last couple of sets.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one, right? You have to deny that spark, but Egoist is, of course, on the board, and you have Carmine, who already has Catalyst. You want that combo ideally, but sometimes you just can't quite find it. So, I mean, another really good draft for Bozo Bunch. They forced the spark deny, and hey, I'll take triple spark Egoist Finny just as much as I think I'll take 4 spark Finny. Like, that's still really, really strong there. And perfect form on drop Leto is even more. But Carmine working some magic in the top side will be the first to strike, picking up a point for Modern Magic now, and has quite a few pancakes here to get some speed going up, so might actually be able to start competing in the foot race against Breads.
Yeah, but Jay gets a really great cyber swipe in there to grab double barrier. Drop Leto right on the front lines there. Didn't even need to use flip, had that primary. And that's going to be a really quick point here for Bozo Bunch. Kind of douses some of the flame here from Modern Magic, but obviously not out of this one just yet, though. Trying to build a couple more stacks. Carmine, but Drop Leto might try to get this double barrier. That's not going to get a double barrier, though, but really great angle. I like the mix-up there from Drop Leto.
I mean, another 6-second goal there. Flip here from Breads is going to get shut down in its tracks. Tries to get back up to drop Leto. Miss jump from Pensando does mean a little bit of time here, but Jay has the Dife's edge. Is running quite quickly on this top side, but Zaxmac winning the strike wars and just sending it right back at him. That barrier still holding on. Will pop off the black hole. Bread's barely able to save that one away, and now Jay in a bit of a predicament defensively. The pressure is on. Core flip will be able to save it and get it back out to drop Leto here, but Pensando covering this midfield, making it hard for Bozo Bunch to convert. Carmine looking for the goal to crook leverage, but Bread's able to save it. Get it around and have another opportunity here. Jay with a backward cyber swipe. Top spin doesn't connect. Once again, we'll get back to the midfield. Back to Carmine. Catches it just a little bit, though. And goes into overtime now. Zaxmac going to give him another opportunity, and that one will be good. Carmine with the second goal of the set will bring him to set point now.
Yeah, really great keeping up the pressure there from Modern Magic. Some great clears from Obscure Breads there, of course, and we'll see some more of those coming out as well. Starting off this point a little tough on the top side there. Okay, saves the double barrier just by nothing, but not for long enough. And now the opposing power play here from Bozo Bunch might end up being a little bit too overwhelming right now. Jay, it doesn't seem to have cooldowns to put this one in just yet, though, as the power play does end here. Carmine finally has just a moment to get the ball, but instantly vanquished as the big finish is going to come and just get that ball cleared. Jay again trying to keep the ball away from Carmine. If he can just grab it, he does get one of these barriers here. Pensando trying to keep it forward into the hands of Carmine. Out of cooldowns as well. Can't seem to get much more control of the ball as well. Carmine also looking a little bit low and might find themselves dead here.
And an open goal now. Jay looking to take over in the top side. Drop Leto there as well. Carmine trying to recover some of that HP right now. Zaxmac doing a good job cutting some passes and buying some time. Get it back over to Carmine here, but the battle over midfield and gets over to Pensando where Jay lines up the cyber swipe and sinks it in yet again. A tried and true tactic that's been working out for Jay quite effectively this game, and will bring Bozo Bunch to match and series point right now. Big opportunity to just end the game here.
Yeah, this could be a big moment here for Bozo Bunch to definitely end the series. Jay now has their flip as well. Zaxmac kind of has the ball in open space here, though, but the big finish is going to make that thing a little bit awkward here. Obscure Breads also has another cooldown to make it work. These glasses are really working out here. Pensando misses a strike, forces them to use the blobble bounce, though. Okay, Carmine approaching with this flip. Misses a pretty vital strike there. Could have possibly landed the second barrier. Jay with another great cyber swipe onto the ball, onto Pensando. A flip here from Carmine. Desperation. Clear. See if they can make it happen. Zaxmac does spend the flip there to try to get a stun combo here with Carmine, but it doesn't work out. Pensando spending the blobble bounce as well to try to just give the ball to their forwards as often as possible and try to keep this pressure up. The blobs are starting to eat this ball here. Zaxmac, no energy, can't do too much. Drop Leto approaches with flip. Pensando misses the blobble bounce, and that's going to be it. Onto the bottom side here. Drop Leto sinks it with that flip, and it's going to be Bozo Bunch taking this series over Modern Magic and shall make themselves a 3-1 record. Congratulations there.
Bozo Bunch coming out on top and looking good doing it. Jay proving to be a good substitute today, this week, for I. And definitely pulling her weight. 6 goals, 2 assists. Same goal participation as Drop Leto there. And 211 redirects. And 70 shots. Wow. Definitely keeping up the offensive pressure for sure on that IME. A good performance here in Modern Magic. Is not quite able to hold up with their substitute roster, it would seem. But Yeah, very solid series, and good to see Bozo Bunch getting back into the race now. 3-1. I mean, that puts them pretty high up. Like, Showtime has yet to play their series, but it will put them above Showtime. And if Showtime lose this week, that would look really good for Bozo Bunch moving on forward. But I believe that that is it for our series right now. So, you have anything else you want to say real quick, MV?
I just want to say that good on Jay. Honestly, was kind of the MVP for most of this. Just did a damn good job. A lot of wonderful improvements there, and that was just a treat to see. And there'll be so much more gameplay coming out here with a lot of these alternate rosters. Gives a lot of players a good chance to show what they got here in this NASL competition. And yeah, good, well deserved win and good roster there. And that'll just wrap it up for us.
Yeah, that'll be it for us. So we're gonna throw it to a bit of a break. When we come back, Return to Form versus Bun Bun Bonanza and Demons Raw versus EKC, and then later tonight, the big show match, Showtime versus Sad Boys. So we'll be back in a few minutes with those matches. But that's all from us. So goodbye.